Everybody, good morning. To meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Tuesday morning. We could see a little more smoke in the sky here these next couple of days. Tough to say how exactly thick this will be. Not all these forecast models are always completely accurate with this here, but something we will keep an eye on over the next couple of days and maybe beyond. We'll see if some smoke develops or kind of moves through our area due to wildfires to our west and to our northwest. Otherwise, we are now behind a cold front that passed through yesterday, and so it is cooler this morning. Cool Canadian air has settled in. Temperatures have fallen back into the 20s and 30s over northern and western parts of the area as winds have died down. The winds are starting to lighten up farther southeast where we've fallen back into the 40s this morning. That high pressure, that's going to scoot to the east across our area today, and that will lighten the winds in the east. Winds will pick back up out of the south, so you see kind of the counterclockwise rotation here around that area of high pressure. And where these winds are going to be fairly breezy out here to the west today, the fire threat could be elevated once again today. High pressure scoots off to the east tonight, so we all see a southerly wind tonight. Not too strong, but it does get a little bit breezy towards tomorrow morning. That wind will pick up tomorrow, so it is going to be a rather breezy day. Winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts to 30 miles per hour. A few clouds around and maybe some smoky haze still, and a much warmer day for your Wednesday. Wednesday night, a cold front does start to approach from the north, and as that pushes southward, that'll begin the next push of some cooler air that's going to move in Thursday and into Friday. Now, one thing that we're going to be seeing, if we're not going to be seeing with the cold fronts coming through, we've got a few cold fronts passing through the next 5 or 6 days. No moisture, unfortunately, but we will get wind, almost every day somebody's going to see some wind. Well, today it's the areas off to the northwest with the somewhat windy conditions, and because of that, a red flag warning will be in place this afternoon and early this evening here in the pink shaded areas, northern Holt County and Boyd County, westward towards Brown Rock, Kippahaw, Cherry County, and then southward down to about North Platte and Ogallala. So there is going to be somewhat of an elevated fire threat again today, and we're going to see more of these threats in the coming days ahead. Highs later today, upper 60s and lower 70s. This is actually close to, if not just barely below average for this time of the year, and it's one of the few days that's pretty close to average ahead of us here. Tonight we'll dip back into the 40s and lower 50s. We will avoid most of the 30s that we're seeing this morning in northwestern areas. Yeah, it might get close in Ogallala there, but I think even most of these places are going to be warmer tomorrow morning with that south wind. And look at this tomorrow afternoon. We are right back up into the mid to upper 80s, low 90s, maybe even mid 90s towards Imperial. So it is going to be quite warm tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mid to upper 40s and lower 50s for lows. And then looking ahead to your Thursday, here comes the next cold front. So cooler off to the northwest in the 70s. Still some low and mid 80s farther to the southeast with that front slowly pushing southeastward. And then as we look ahead to your Friday forecast, pretty uniform temperatures, mid to upper 70s, lower 80s for most of us, but we are going to see the heat build back in on Saturday. Let's take a look at the extended forecast. All right, next few days. Nice, pleasant today, breezy and warmer tomorrow, then cooling down a little bit on Thursday and Friday, and then the heat is on Saturday. Whew, it's going to be a hot afternoon Saturday afternoon. If you're heading to the Husker game, might be sweating it out there in the capital city. Rutgers takes on Nebraska. That's a 3 o'clock start, so hopefully the shade from the western skyboxes kind of start to cover the field and some of the crowd as the game goes on, especially towards the third and fourth quarters of the game. If you're heading to Grand Island early Saturday morning for the Harvest of Harmony Parade, starting off in the upper 50s, that's a pretty mild start, so I don't think you'll have to worry about bundling up too much in downtown Grand Island on Saturday morning. And again, of course, the very warm afternoon. Temperatures do come back down a little bit Sunday and Monday, but it looks like after that we're going to start to warm right back up. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are well into the 80s once again, as signs are we're going to see a longer stretch of time of warm temperatures down the road as we get towards the 8th, 9th, 10th of the month and maybe even beyond. And unfortunately, every one of those days does look on the dry side. North Platte down into the low 70s today for a high, but then right back up to the low 90s tomorrow. Cooling down a little bit Thursday and Friday, mid to upper 70s each of those days, but right back to the lower 90s on Saturday. Temperatures come back down a little bit Sunday and then start to work their way back up on Monday and beyond. Warm weather. It's going to be hard to find below average days after today for a while. You can see a lot of warmth ahead of us next week after maybe that slight cool down there Sunday and Monday's back to the mid 80s, then it's upper 80s to near 90 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. It looks like next week is going to be well above average once again. Most of the central and western United States will be well above average during that time frame between Tuesday, October 8th and Monday, October 14th. So that takes us to the middle of the month, which also looks like it's going to be on the dry side, very dry side, during that same time frame. In fact, I have no moisture showing up on the European model, just occasionally a few clouds with these fronts, but chances of rain are looking very, very slim throughout this entire time frame here. The GFS isn't much better. It shows a little moisture maybe towards the end of that forecast here. Here's the GFS. Unfortunately, not much to show you, other than a few fronts with a few clouds from time to time, but maybe a little moisture in the middle of next week, but I wouldn't put much confidence in that right there. That's not much anyway. You can see the up and down forecast with these series of fronts coming through. So there's today. We are cooler today. But then tomorrow we are heating right back up in the afternoon. The heat building back in. There's the next cool front. So Thursday and Friday temperatures come back down a little bit. But then here comes Saturday. We are warming right back up on Saturday. Then the next shot of cool air right behind it though, Sunday and Monday. But it doesn't last long because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. Oh, that's actually a difference here. The European model is actually trying to push in some cooler air late next week. Whereas the GFS model, I believe, is trying to keep some of that warmer air right over top of us. So that could be a difference there in the forecast models down the road. We'll see how things play out towards the end of next week. Here's the GFS model. You can see the cooler air today. We are warming right back up tomorrow. Then we cool back down Thursday into Friday. Then the heat builds back in on Saturday, but it's temporary because here comes the next shot of cool air Sunday, Monday. But starting to warm up here, and notice here towards the end of the forecast here, still looking pretty warm right through next Thursday and Friday. So no major shots of cold air coming, that's for sure. We will not see our first freeze more than likely again, barring those that are seeing it this morning. That's way off to the northwest though. So with that, one thing like I said before, one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on these breezier days, that red flag warning is going to be up a lot. We're going to be using that map a lot here with that wildfire threat inching upwards until we can get some good moisture, which unfortunately does not look like it's on par or on tap anytime soon. Well, with that, I want to let you all go for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with you on Wednesday morning. Take care, and God bless. Bye.